Hunt 'em Big with Steve Bartylla. Brought to you by Bush Hog, Easton, Reconics, Heater Bodysuit, and by Wildlife Research Center.
As hunters, we tend to get stuck in ruts. We tend to go back to the same things that worked for us over and over and over again. Why? Because we've had success with them in the past. The danger is that we get caught in that rut and that we do not use the flexibility that's available to us these days. What we're going to specifically talk about today is stands. Personally, I love elevated hang-on tree stands with big platforms. That is my favorite place to be out hunting. I don't care if we're talking about with a firearm, bow, crossbow, any weapon. I want to be up in that tree approximately 20 to 25 feet off the ground with a beautiful bird's eye view of what's going on around me. That is how I prefer to hunt. But you know what? When I find that spot, that I know this is where I need to be to kill Mr. Big, I'm going to make it work. And part of the way I'm going to make that work is being flexible. I will go ahead and use ladder stands on trees that just aren't quite big enough to safely hold that hang-on stand. If there's not a tree that's big enough for a ladder stand, there's ground blinds. That's a great option. Another great option are elevated box blinds such as rednecks. I know they're spendy, but man, you want to be spoiled, you hunt out of one of them. When it comes to hunting rednecks or ground blinds, what you want to do though is you want to take a slightly different approach. Go ahead and wear dark colors, preferably all black and a black hood. By doing that, you help disappear into the shadows, and then you want to set up that redneck or that ground blind so that there's virtually no chance of deer coming from this direction, and you want to be set up right against that. So now you can close the back windows. You can go ahead on ground blinds, you can literally close them. On the rednecks, go ahead and use black fabric to mask those back windows. So now you are truly in the shadows. But the point is be flexible. Do not get stuck in this rut like I did years and years ago, where you got to hunt out of tree stands. You have to hunt out of tree stands. That's how you kill deer. You know what? If you happen to find that spot out in the middle of that CRP field that Mr. Big is crossing day after day after day after day, worst case, get out there with a bucket, sit your butt down on the ground, and you know what? When he's coming towards you, looking at you, don't move. Wait for him to look the other direction before you come to full draw. You know, find a way to make locations work. Almost every location will work if you remain flexible.
Hunt 'em Big with Steve Bartylla. Brought to you by Bush Hog, Easton, Reconics, Heater Bodysuit, and by Wildlife Research Center.
We all get stuck in our ruts. Now, it's a real hard temptation to break because we've had success doing this that way before. But be flexible. Be flexible on everything when it comes to hunting, but what we're talking about today is stands. Don't be afraid to use a hang-on stand, a ladder stand, a tripod stand, an enclosed box blind, a ground blind, or just sit down on the ground and don't move when the deer are looking at you. When you find that spot that you know you need to be to kill Mr. Big, you find a way to make it work, and you're going to tag more bucks because of it.